I just helped this player, and this player completely transform their defense in CFP 26 by simply implementing one of the top 3 playbooks I'm sharing with you in this video. Calling good plays and being in a good defense scheme is the foundation to great defense, and you're not going to miss out on any of the plays and playbooks I have for you in this video, so let's jump right into it. The first play we're going to show you is the 3-2-6 defensive playbook. It's one of the best to get the quarterback down in a hurry. Let me show you why. Alright, so like I said, one of the best playbooks in the game to get the quarterback down in a hurry because we understand how many people want to use base protection. So if we come into linebacker cross 3 show 2 right here, and this is the setup that we're going to use for this particular blitz, we are going to shift our linebackers to the right. So now that man's going to go stand right there, and we're going to pass him in our defense by pressing RB and then right stick up. And so what you're going to see is going to happen is that when they go ahead and use base protection, right, you're going to see how we're going to just get a man to come in free right through the A gap, and we don't honestly have to even do anything. You're just going to see how that man's just going to loop all the way around, and we don't have to really affect the offensive line in any way. We just have to do a great job. I normally just take this through a quick defender right here, user him, right? And then you're going to be able to look over the middle of the field. Also, having your safety depth on close, can help you out here with Bray Hubbard being a little bit closer. I would also shade my coverage down to make sure that we're in hard flats instead of having seam flats. But again, shift that linebacking core to the right here, pass commit the defense, and then you're just going to see how, because we know how great, I don't know how great, but how many people want to use base protection kind of as their default pass protection type. Well, we're just going to absolutely obliterate that time and time again. We're able to quickly use over the middle of the field. Again, you can make adjustments to your coverage as well. You can turn it into a cover 2 on the right side, add overhook on the field, do whatever you got to do. But really, base protection, the most common pass protection type in the game, just going to get absolutely torn apart by a blitz like this. So we're going to put him in base protection again. This time we're going to block the running back though, and you're just going to see how it's going to be the same thing where even the running back's going to step up to block him, but a lot of the time you're just going to either get a shed from that man who came in free, but then the running back steps up to block him, or you're going to get someone else to come in free. So it's like you're at a disadvantage when they block the running back. It's only 5 against 6, but you're just able to see how far number 0 is able to penetrate the pocket, and then someone else gets a timely shed. So that's why you don't necessarily know all the time if they're going to be blocking their running back or not, but it's still very important to play great coverage defense, have a good user over the middle of the field, either get your blitz to come in free or get a timely shed from a player. But let me show you another great defense here from the 3-2-6 playbook. Because if we come in a nickel 3-3 mint here, we're going to call cover 6. Make sure that you have all 3 of these zone drop depths on default. You're going to call your cover 6, and what you're going to notice is when they call street corner flat, like a flood concept like this, I'm just going to put my controller down on defense. Watch how beautifully we're able to match onto this and take that route concept away, right? Your quarter flat is going to do a great job of stopping this underneath flat right here, right here to the tight end. Right, he's just going to come down, take that away. And then you also see how this vertical defender really doesn't even need to do anything. If you wanted to switch stick on him, you could, but you're able to see how Bray Hubbard's just going to match onto this route. We're going to carry this fade as it runs over the top. So really, when they call street corner flat, they're going to have nowhere to go. You're going to be playing excellent defense. And really, the one thing I would mention, though, is that you want to make sure that you're having a good user still over the middle in case they sneak a running back out of the backfield, or they just, have a backside dig. If you're running cover 6, your backside soft squat is going to do a great job of taking away that backside dig as well, like you see. But this would also leave you susceptible to this flat area, maybe if they put their running back on an in route. So that's why I say it's important to still have a good user, understand the route concepts they're calling. But essentially, when you call cover 6, you're going to be getting way more coverage sacks, especially when they call route concepts like this that really can't beat this defense, right? This defense was literally designed to be able to stop flood concepts and plays like this, and you're able to see we're going to do exactly that. Break them the corner out, guard the backside dig, and then just, again, make sure that you're having a good user. But that's a great blitz here from the 3-2-6 playbook, but also a great coverage defense. Stop flood concepts. Alright, so if you enjoyed that breakdown of the 3-2-6 defensive playbook here in CFP 26, make sure to go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down defensive tips and tricks just like this every single day, and you're absolutely not going to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full 3-2-6 defensive ebook with full write-ups, video breakdowns, setups, everything you're going to need to dominate on defense here in college football 26, make sure you go to the link down below the pinned comment. You can use code YouTube to get 20% off, and I can't wait to help you out even more. Let's jump right back into it. Because this next playbook I'm about to show you is perfect for road to the CFP. So many of the best teams use the 4-2-5 defensive playbook, and it has a crazy blitz you've never seen before. Because if we come into 3-3-5 penny, this is a very similar defense to 3-3 cub, which 3-3-5 penny is a lot more common. And like I said, this playbook actually having penny really makes it one of the best in the game. You can see very similar alignment that we talk about all the time from 3-3 cub, and so no one's really using this defense, but you can now, because what you're going to see, the go-to blitz here, you can just call Mike Blitz 0, right? And so you're going to shift the D-line to the left right here. You're going to drop this man into a crow flat, and essentially you're trying to create that overload blitz that we talk about all the time. You want to stand probably about right here, 4 yards over that guard, or excuse me, over the center, 2 yards over the guard, excuse me, over the center, over his left shoulder. You can do whatever you want as far as back end coverage. If you want to put your entire defense in zones, run more of a cover 2. Also understand that the adjustments are a little bit different in this formation. So it's not like you can just, like when we talk about quick adjustments, you're certainly going to have to get used to maybe these new adjustments like I am here. So I'd probably just leave my slot corner manned up. But you can honestly set something up pretty quickly like this once you master the adjustments. But when you take the snap, press that D-pad to the left, or excuse me, to the right, and so you're going to D-pad switch stick onto that curl flat defender. All right, and so what that's going to do, it's really going to allow your guys to play 4-on-3 on this side and get a man to come in completely free off the edge. So you're going to see it again, boom. You get the attention of the center, and with your user, when you D-pad switch stick off of him, now you're over here to take away the middle of the field with your user, or take away that running back quickly out of the backfield, and then you're just going to be able to see you just have the numbers advantage over here. Even though it's 5-on-5, you're overloading one side of the offensive line, and it's going to make it very, very easy for you to come in free. So it's like they're going to see this. Maybe, I mean, it's not 3-3 cub, it's pretty similar alignment, but you're able to do a lot of the same things that I show you guys from 3-3 cub from like the 4-3 multiple playbook, but you're able to do it here from a defensive playbook that has some other great formations as well. So really just being able to overload that offensive line here. But if you also you can gap shoot as well. So if they call like a run play here, maybe they call base, you're just going to be able to loop around and meet that running back at the point of attack. If you're not holding 2 controllers, all you need to do really is just, man, I'm going to do it here. You really just need to be able to loop around and meet this guy really at the point of attack. So right here, he's going to move over to this left side. So now I'm going to stand right here, 4 yards over the left guard, and I'm just going to try to loop around and then dive tackle that man. So you see how that time I got blocked, but that allowed for my outside linebacker on that right side to come in free. So when you use the user gap shoot technique, right, you're either going to be able to loop around, shoot that gap, or you're going to be able to get one of your other guys to come in free. Also, though, if they block their running back, which is going to be something that happens when you start just screaming in their face, you're going to set it up the same way, drop this man into the zone. You're going to stand pretty much in the same spot, 2 yards over the left shoulder of the center right here. And so you're going to take the snap, immediately D-pad, switch stick, and now you see how it really doesn't matter, right? That time the running back didn't even recognize the guy that came in free. So it's like even when they create the 6-on-5 advantage for them, sometimes it literally just won't even matter. So you see how, like, I mean, they just have a huge miscommunication right here. Jam Miller just doesn't block the guy. And even though they were able to pick us up off the edge, they weren't able to contain us right up the middle, right up the A gap. And so we're able to still walk in free. And the best part is I'm still back into coverage with my user right here. And so I'm just able to lurk around and take all of these different routes away. So really, this is the best defense right now from the 4-2-5 playbook that no one's really talking about. It's a defense that's found in other playbooks, but maybe they're not as good as this 4-2-5 playbook, and having 3-3-5 penny really brings it all together. Alright, and before I jump into that final defensive playbook that you're absolutely not going to miss out on, again, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I break down defensive tips and tricks just like this every day. No one else is doing that right now for College Football 26, and you're not going to miss out on any of the content I have. But let me show you the last defensive playbook in this video. And that playbook is going to be the 4-3 multiple playbook, because it really is the new meta playbook that's starting to pick up right now online in CFP 26, because it has some great nickel defenses. Let me show you. All right, so that first defense here is going to be nickel 3-3 stack once again. All right, kind of like just what I was showing you from what's it called, 3-3 mint. 3-3 stacks very similar, because essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift our linebackers to the right. All right, and then we're going to contain our defense. So it's going to look something like this. And then I would also probably just drop my user into a zone. I'm going to stand right here, and essentially you're trying to move this guard outside to the left sideline in this case, so that you can get your looper to come looping around through that gap. So again, depends on the formation that they're running, but you can certainly adjust your defense. Probably, if you're going to run man, probably just shade inside, route commit outside, do what you've got to do, but always pass commit your defense when you think they're passing. And this is going to do a great job, like we talked about, against base protection. So boom, try to turn this guard outside, and then you're able to see how we're just going to come flying in right through that A gap, because we're able to confuse the offensive line. They're in base protection, and so we're just going to be able to walk in free, which 5-on-5 as an offense, you expect to be able to pick these guys up. You expect for this not to be a problem, but it really just is a huge problem, because this guard, not only do we turn him outside to distract him, 71 right here, we turn him outside to, if I could get onto him, my goodness. We turn him, I'm just going to get the other guy, but we turn him outside, then he goes back inside to double team. These guys, they never recognize number 0 coming right through the A-gap. And A-gap pressure for a quarterback, as we know, is the worst type of pressure to get. So again, the setup, shift your linebackers to the right. You're going to QB contain. You're going to pass commit your defense, all right? And then, like we talked about, you're just going to go ahead, drop that user in the zone, really just so that you can switch stick around. Now, if you're in man coverage, you're probably not going to be switch sticking too often, but, you know, it's like you want to be able to. You could also put your safety in inside third if you really didn't want to guard the running back, which, again, you have full coverage capability and versatility. So pass commit your defense. They're going to use base protection, which is really what this is great against. Boom, turn this man outside, and then you're able to see. Well, that time he really just takes kind of a poor gap, but if he took the same gap he did in the last play, he probably just would have came in free. So that's why I never promise you guys that a blitz is going to work every single time. But you see how he just gets a quick shed right there, a linebacker against an offensive lineman. And that's honestly pretty consistent in itself. So pass commit, QB contain, drop your user into a zone. You're just going to stand right here over this left guard in this case, right? Turn him outside, and then you're able to see how this time we're able to just loop around. Having quick jump on that guy, having, what's it called? Maybe tackle supreme, just something where you can really tackle the guys a lot better and get off the ball faster on that linebacker. Like if you're playing cut or dynasty, right? Those are pretty good abilities to utilize on your guys, but I mean, this is just very, very easy defense. But also there's another great defense here from Single Mug that I'm about to show you. Because you don't always want to blitz people in this game. Sometimes you just want to sit in coverage, and that's why Single Mug is still one of the most valuable defenses in the game, because we're going to spread our defensive line here. We're going to pass command. This is only going to be a 4-man rush, right? This was really great at the beginning of the year. It kind of fizzled out a little bit through some updates, but it's completely back because base protection is definitely the go-to, you know, blocking scheme here. So we're going to pass commit our defense. We are going to utilize, they're just going to be utilizing base protection right here. And so boom, we're just going to take this snap, and you see how he comes in free off the edge. Now, you don't actually want to engage with the center like I did right there. And if you do, make sure you're spamming A on Xbox, X on PlayStation to get off that block as soon as possible. But really with this blitz, you're just trying to occupy the center momentarily, just like right there, so that one of your guys can come in free. Again, when they use base protection, both of those guys really should come looping around, but then the center is going to block one of them, which is still good for you because that normally means one of them comes in free. So you see how right here, boom, this guy's going to be the one to loop around. He gets blocked by the center, but the same thing happens to the other side now, and we get our guy to come in completely free. So it's only a 4-man rush, but we're able to essentially get one guy to come in free very, very consistently. So again, the setup, shift that D-line, D-pad left, left stick up to spread. All right, pass commit your defense, RB, then right stick up. All right, you're going to pass commit. You're going to stand right here over the center. This time they can even block their running back. So this is a 6-on-4 advantage for them. Boom, you're going to see it's how the same thing. It's too fast of a rush. It's not even really a blitz, but it's too fast of a blitz for the running back a lot of time to step up and see it. Also, this guy has a running start because no one touched him. So even if the running back steps up to block him, physics are just going to tell this man to push him right into the quarterback. So these guys are just too slow to recognize this, right? And so it makes it very, very easy for you to get pressure on the quarterback here. You know, they can roll out consistently versus this defense if they just start catching on to it. So that's probably when you just want to use the left Texas two-man stunt, which is the same stunt off the left side, but then you're able to contain the quarterback on the right. So that's certainly a counter that you can mix in, but you know, this defense, single mug, one of the best pressure defenses in the game because you're essentially able to, you know, collapse the pocket on the quarterback because you're able to get such quick pressure, looping guys all around, and you're going to be dominating base protection. All right, so if you enjoyed that breakdown of the top 3 defensive playbooks here at CFB 26, again, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down defensive tips and tricks just like this every single day. You don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full 326 defensive ebook with all the best written breakdowns, videos, screenshots, everything you need to dominate on defense, and it's super easy to run, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can use code YouTube to get 20% off. Can't help you out on defense, but if you want to know the top 3 offensive playbooks you need to be using, check out this video right here. I'll see y'all over there. Peace.